Hello everyone, I am Miss Mary Jean Arbolado from Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Social Studies. Today, I will discuss to you about the speech act theory and communication. So what is speech act? Speech act in the philosophy of language and linguistics. Speech act is something expressed by an individual that not only presents information but performs an action as well. For example, the phrase, I would like the kimchi. Could you please pass it to me? Yes, it is considered a speech act as it expresses the speaker's desire to acquire the kimchi, as well as presenting a request that someone pass the kimchi to them. According to Kent Bach, almost any speech act is really the performance of several acts at once, distinguished by different aspects of the speaker's intention. There is the act of saying something, what one does in saying it, such as requesting or promising, and how one is trying to affect one's audience. Speech acts serve their function once they are said or communicated. These are commonly taken to include acts such as apologizing, promising, ordering, answering, requesting, complaining, warning, inviting, refusing, and congratulating. So let's move on to speech act in action. Speech acts are commonplace in everyday interactions and are important for communication, as well as present in many different contexts. Examples of this include you are fired. It expresses both the employment status of the individual in question, as well as the action by which said person's employment is ended. Another example is, I hereby appoint you as chairman. It expresses both the status of the individual as chairman and the action which promotes the individual to this position. So let's go on to speech act theory. Speech act theory is a subfield of pragmatics that studies how words are used not only to present information but also to carry out actions. The speech act theory was introduced by Oxford philosopher J.L. Austin in How to Do Things with Words and further developed by American philosopher J.R. Searle. It considers the degree to which utterances are said to perform locutionary acts, illocutionary acts, and or perlocutionary acts. Many philosophers and linguists study speech act theory as a way to better understand human communication. Part of the joy of doing speech act theory from my strictly first person point of view is becoming more and more mindful of how many surprisingly different things we do when we talk to each other. This is from Kimmerlin 2002. Speech acts can be analyzed on multiple levels. First, a locutionary act, the performance of an utterance, the actual utterance and its apparent meaning comprising any and all of its verbal, social, rhetoric meanings, all of which correspond to the verbal, syntactic, and semantic aspects of any meaningful utterance. Second, an elocutionary act, the active result of the implied request or meaning presented by the locutionary act. For example, if the locutionary act in an interaction is the question, is there any salt? The implied elocutionary request is, can someone pass the salt to me? And under certain conditions, a further perlocutionary act, the actual effect of the locutionary and illocutionary acts, such as persuading, convincing, scaring, enlightening, inspiring, or otherwise getting someone to do or realize something, whether intended or not. Additionally, a metalocutionary act categorizes speech acts that refer to the forms and functions of the discourse itself rather than continuing the substantive development of the discourse, or to the configurational functions of prosody and punctuation. That's all about my assigned report. For the continuation, let's welcome Rosalea Abines to discuss the issues, concerns, and perspectives. Thank you.